And so I'm the fleet manager, and we're walking, and here again, we had pagers. We didn't even have cell phones. So we're walking down to dinner. He and I, we had a place out in Atlantic Beach for roomies, and we'd go home weekends, and we worked there in the office during the week. So we're walking down to get supper, and his pager goes off, and I don't know if you're old enough to remember the drill, but first of all, you got to find a payphone. Nextly, you don't have any change, so you got to go buy something you don't want, so you get some change. Some images are just frozen in your mind. So he puts the change in the phone, he calls ops, and he just turns white as a sheet. And I'm standing there seeing him turn blanch white. I'm saying, this is not good. Well, what happened was TWA 800 had exploded, and it was in flames out there in the water. So he goes back to the office, and I'm fleet manager, and he gets permission, and I get my flight engineer manager, and we go out there, and we spend, I guess we were probably on site probably 24, 20, 30 hours there before we came off site. And that airplane exploded. The left wing came off at yaw. It broke the cockpit off, and it just peeled that airplane back. I've never seen an airplane so fractured in my life. That was just a sad event. And one of the saddest events was we had two crews on that, training captain, a student captain, a training engineer, a student engineer. And the airplane they were going on had a mechanical cancel, so they went over and pay assigned the crew on TWA 800. And I flew this guy's dad later. It was so sad. I mean, this was a young guy, brilliant future, smart. It was his first line flight as a 747 flight engineer. And of course, everybody was killed. And I remember just the body bags coming in and just stacking them in refrigerator trucks. Fortunately it wasn't full, but I guess we probably lost 200 people plus 50 crew members, 2 747 crews. Everybody knew somebody on that airplane. It was a very, very sad deal. But I remember walking down the pier, and just a lot of pleasure boats bringing things in. And they brought in a bunch of stuff. I mean, as the airplane broke apart, it was at max Q, was 330 knots. I mean, the people got ejected. It was just horrible. Those articles of clothes, suitcases. And the one thing I vividly remember is they brought in and they dumped a bag of stuff out, and that student flight engineer's cap was in there. And I looked at that. It looked like it came out of the store. I mean, it'd been through this, and then they fished it out of the water. I never forgot that. That was just so sad.